Yes, I look terrible, but I'm on Christmas break. Don't judge me. I wanted to actually have a Christmas themed video for you guys before the end of 2016, but let's just all take a moment of remembrance of 2016 and think of how 2016 was literally just a giant meme. Okay, silence over. I was on the interwebs searching for some Christmas book tags or challenges to do, and I found the Christmas song book tag. I know what you're thinking. You're not cool enough to get tagged by anyone to do anything. I know that. That's why I found it on the internet. I have everything listed out on my computer ready to go, and there's a total of 10 Christmas songs, so let's get into the tag. First Christmas song, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Name a villainous character you couldn't help but love. I picked Voldemort, partly because I'm biased towards the Harry Potter musicals. If you don't know what the Harry Potter musicals are, then you aren't a true Harry Potter fan. Voldemort is just a misunderstood kid who wanted to express himself in ways that other kids couldn't, so he turned to violence and stuff like that, and that's not how you solve things. But I love Voldemort. He's just a misunderstood kid. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Which book do you most want to see under your Christmas tree? Now, I know that Christmas is over and I'm not going to be seeing any books under my Christmas tree because it's the 29th. Just kidding. It's only the 27th. I picked the Snow Like Ashes series just because I really, really want to read those books, and they've been on my mind recently, and I was like, if I get money for Christmas, I'm going to go buy them. So technically, they'd be under my Christmas tree, but they're not because I got the money form of them instead of the actual book form. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Name a character that overcomes major obstacles and learns to believe in themselves. I picked Augie from Wonder just because of basically what he had to deal with through his entire life. I'm sounding like he's dead, but he's not dead. But basically just learning to cope with his disabilities and the way he looks. He has to overcome bullies, and just his whole entire life is just one giant obstacle, but learns to realize that it's really not as bad as some people make it out to be. He talks about in the beginning of the book, I don't describe the way I look because I want you to picture it in your own head. And so basically I think he's just embracing the fact that he's a special kid, and it doesn't matter what he looks like, it's what matters that's inside him that counts, and that he can overcome anything if he had to. Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Which character is on top of the naughty list, and which character is on top of the nice list? For the naughty list, I picked Celeste from the selection, just because through the whole series I hated her. Sorry if you liked her. I just didn't really like her. Most of the time she was extremely rude, and I don't like rude people. At the top of the nice list, I picked Thomas from the Circle series. The Circle series isn't really a prominent series in the world, I guess you could say, or a very popular series. It's right up here. Can't really see, but I have all 4 of the books in one book. It's just literally this giant book on my bookshelf. It's a book that requires deep thinking, and it's hard for me to read through the entire book at once, kind of. And just the fact that I have all 4 of them in one makes it really annoying to carry around. So, but I picked the main character Thomas because he's a really, really sweet guy, and all he wants to do is help people. And I can't really say anything else about him because I haven't really learned his entire character yet. But that's all really for Thomas. Frosty the Snowman. Which book melts your heart? I picked Since You've Been Gone. I've read that book multiple times, Every single time I read that book, it just makes me smile so much. It's just so sweet, and it melts my heart every time I read it. Like, I can't, it's just so good. And the characters and the character development and the plot development in that book are just so amazing and wonderful. If you haven't read it, you really, really should read it. I'm gonna knock over everything on my bookshelf. But it's this book, Since You've Been Gone, by Morgan Matson. Feliz Navidad. Choose a book that takes place in a country other than your own. I picked Passenger by Alexander Bracken. I know it kind of technically in some parts takes place in the United States, but the majority of the story is outside of the United States. The book just came out, and that is on the top of my list to get when I go to the bookstore, and I'm really excited to see where the story goes, and I just love the entire plotline of the story, and it's just wonderful. I have a review on this book if you haven't seen it. It's terrible quality, but it's not terrible quality in thoughts. I just realized I haven't been showing you any of the books I've been talking about, but that's okay. You know the title. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Which holiday-themed book do you use to spread Christmas joy? This one was hard for me to decide. I haven't really read any holiday-themed books, so I wouldn't really be able to spread Christmas cheer. So I picked the greatest book of all, the Bible. If you haven't read it, put that on the top of your list. It's a great book to read. But especially in Matthew and Luke, that tells the real Christmas story in Matthew and Luke. So go pick up a Bible and read through Matthew and Luke if you want to spread Christmas joy. Sleigh Ride. Which fictional character would you most likely want to spend the holidays with? First of all, Sleigh Ride. I don't even think I've ever heard of that song before. I probably have. It just doesn't come to the top of my head. I'd probably have to hear it. But I picked Magnus Chase because that kid is genius. I love his personality. I just love his entire character altogether. He's just a hilarious character. I relate to him so much, and Magnus is just a cool dude. Baby, It's Cold Outside. Which book that you didn't like would you sacrifice in a fire to warm yourself up in the cold? This was the easiest answer. I thought of it like this. And I haven't had this channel for long, but if you know me, you know the answer already. And I'm sure Michael knows the answer to it because he probably has the same one I do. The entire Maze Runner series except for the first one. Yes, I hated that series so much. The first one was good, but then it just went downhill. I'm not gonna spend like 10 minutes ranting about how terrible those books were, so I'm just gonna cut it off here before I start raging and throwing things, because those books, oh, they were, Do you hear what I hear? Which book do you think that everybody should read? Well, to bring Harry Potter back into this, if you haven't read Harry Potter, then I don't count you as, well, that's not very nice. If you haven't read Harry Potter, then where's your life? You haven't lived. Harry Potter's like the main books to read. Let's be real here. I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter until I was like in 6th grade. But once I did, my life was changed, okay? So if you're not a Harry Potter fan or you haven't read Harry Potter, where are you? So that was the Christmas song book tag. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. As always, I have a lot of fun making these videos for you guys, and especially because it's Christmas, the Christmas theme. If you really like this video and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button down there and leave a like. That would be really great. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If you don't, you won't get updates from me about things coming out to you guys, or any of that fun stuff. So don't forget to grab a blanket, drink some tea, and read a book. Until next time, see ya!